George who ran and pick him up, charter a plane to fly him abroad for open heart surgery and lay him to live today with pacemaker battery. He's a battery total right now. So the battery is controlled by the white man who gave it in a medical center where he was flown to. So maybe he's not well to speak the way he's speaking. He's not well. He's using battery. It's not normal. A man who is using battery and a man who has a natural heart, compare the two. So Joseph Boyka, the former vice president, Peking, is using battery. He's a battery total. Such a man cannot even be president of this country. He's sick. So maybe that the frustration making to speak the way he did, calling the president boy. So Joseph Boyka, the former vice president, Peking, is using battery. He's a battery total. Such a man cannot even be president of this country. He's sick. So maybe that the frustration making to speak the way he did, calling the president boy. So Joseph Boyka, the former vice president, Peking, is using battery. He's a battery total. Such a man cannot even be president of this country. He's sick. So maybe that the frustration making to speak the way he did, calling the president boy. How many million people voted that boy? So many millions. Look at this boy and you elected him. Maybe you call Joseph, George boy because of the age. Because Joseph Boyka is over 70 and this boy is about 50 something. So when you say boy, well, that's it. But boy in the sense of immaturity, no. George is mature. He's mature. That's why he told Joseph Boyka on the ground where he collapsed to fly here abroad for medical checkup, for medical heart surgery. That's what made him to live today. I think Joseph Boyka, in conclusion, should be very grateful to that boy who flew him out of the country for open heart surgery that make him to live today. But the way Joseph Boyka speaks, the way he acts, he is one of the 9 ungrateful lepers. The fact is, you could have know you, but he did not. He saved this old man. But what the old man is returning is ungratefulness. Call this president boy. You call the whole Liberian president boy, then you old man, you told him battery around here. But I cannot look at a battery man and elect you because any minute you could collapse. But you already say you want to be president, and we know your record. You're on the time bomb, on the borderline.
Just sitting and laughing and reading the comment section. John Baloo said, the reason why he's in this is to save the state. Save Liberia. But Senator Baloo was senator when in his county, 5 wonderful Liberians gruesomely murdered. Their bodies were mutilated. He didn't say anything. A colleague who was then a senator, whose name is enshrined in the TRC report, whose testimony you can find everywhere, that allegedly carried out a massacre on the Kavala River, became a senator from in jail. He came from jail. That case died in Maryland. Senator Baloo was senator. Senator Baloo was senator when Keith Juba was killed. Senator Baloo was senator when the Fuller man was beheaded in River G. Senator Baloo was senator when the 17 young men were killed between Lower Magidi and Grand Bassa County. Senator Baloo was senator when one of the people who fronting all of his effort was giving Ente-Janet Hosmer money and squash car to lobby for him to move on traveling ban and access free. But today, he say he wants to save the country. Senator Baloo was senator when Bridgeway from London came to do prospect in Liberia. Senator Baloo then got vehicle and money.
Baloo, that Brian, the senator.
He thought on saving Liberia then. Sometimes some people sit on a particular platform, and this is the reason why the argument is going to get big this few times. Because look,
I don't think I can do this. It's against my faith. I can.
Augustine,
come and stand in front of me and say, represent
for you after your soul will see her, yeah?
So do what now? I can do it. I can't have
published no checks before. He denied his signature on those checks before 2020 campaign. He's a common criminal. I'm saying that to you. He's a common criminal. That's the budget he voted for. He's a criminal because he lied at $3.6 million. Is not in the budget. He can't take me anywhere. I defy him. That's a criminal. No, I'm not angry. I'm being forceful. I'm being intellectual. I'm providing facts. No, I said something I didn't mention him, so they don't know I'm a medicine. He has no integrity in life or integrity. He's in the crisis of integrity. He's drowning in the crisis of integrity. He's not only fake. He's drowning in the crisis of integrity. I say he's a criminal. He's a thief. To take a $45,000 car in the budget to vote for it, not just to vote for it. And you didn't inform the people because say everything you will inform the people on record for that. And he didn't say anything about it. Okay, the pastor didn't vote, but why he didn't say it? Why he didn't say he voted for it? The records are there, gentlemen. Senator Delon should be treated as a common criminal for lying to the public that there's no $3.6 million in the budget, okay? And they said they didn't want it. Where they place it? There's $3.6 million. The money here. The thing is in the budget. There's the final budget. So they don't tell you when they took it all of a sudden, where they put it. I beg you. One question is, when they took it out, can you show us where you put your share? That's the question. If they answer that question, come back to me.
We now go over to Robert Tier of the Unity Party. Yeah, everything I do, we must first tell the thing to the people.
That's what I'm saying.
And we've been doing that with people cleaning the champagne in our various communities. In social science, we go to people and ask them what they name. And so you pointing them to say, I name this. But if you don't ask your people, then where you carry to them? So before I ask them what they name, and what they need, what you take them to them.
Your 3 major priorities.
Right now, if you look at I'm a teacher in profession.
You teacher?
Yeah, I'm a teacher. The second thing is that we want the boroughs autonomous.
The boroughs what?
It's autonomous. Yeah, it's autonomous.
Go ahead.
And we look at some of the things we want to consider because we talk about autonomous. That means you have a lot of facility, a lot of things that you do in the borough. And if you are autonomous and you have all the thing to do, and if you look at the good men are graduated from college in the district. Right now, the first thing
What level were you teaching? Was it elementary, junior high, or senior high?
we're taking elementary divisions.
Oh, okay.
Elementary division. And we're credible, we are more accessible, and we're development oriented. So
Hello. Robert B. Tier is a librarian. After our graduation from the elementary school, we keep the Marlboro to attend the junior high school, the Baptist Junior High School, and from there we went to Central High and we graduated 1998. I'm a teacher in professions. Robert Tier is one of the daughter's son. Robert Tier is one of the credible sons. Robert Tier is deserved to be a servant in the district. Robert Tier is a public servant. I always work at the National Security Agency in Cape Matan.
This is a two-phase issue. This is a critical issue in this country. And we must stand up and speak the truth. Because for you to use the fact that prior to printing, it means you already tell me print. But before you print, come up to me. There is nothing in that paragraph that indicated that money should be printed.
The essence of this exercise, the essence of this exercise is to know the facts. Everybody will have the opportunity to ask questions if you so desire.
afternoon, good afternoon. Good afternoon and a pleasant welcome to Freedom Hub on 87.9. This is the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. My name is Kai. I'm here today on the Wednesday's edition of the program on 87.9. Too many things happening in the country. The entire campaign season is on. With Mangibi County being the area of focus on today, the Liberian president, accompanied by the vice president of Liberia, the Honorable Madam Joel Howard Taylor, will see the people of Kakata and Mangibi in general converging, gathering in their numbers as they were able to receive the president in Kakata City, Mangibi County. Too many things happening in the country. The presidential campaign is now in Kakata City, Mangibi County. On today's edition of the show, we expect to have a team of individuals from the We As Intellectual Movement. Yes, the We As Intellectual Movement will appear on today's edition. They are expected to appear on today's edition of the program in continuation of their different radio programs across the country, where they will provide sufficient reasons behind their quest to have President Weah re-elected. And so today, we are hopeful of having Randa Masakwa Dubayu and David Colette, both of them from the We As Intellectual Movement. They are expected to join us in studio today to bring us a lot more of what they believe should be the reasons behind the election of Mr. President. While we await our guests, there is a conversation in southeastern Liberia that we intend to have a real discussion about. I repeat, while we await the folks from the We As Intellectual Movement to appear on today's edition, there is a conversation during these periods in southeastern Liberia that we will intend to throw more light on. We intend to provide a lot of information on, so that a lot of our people may not be misled about what we sense being been spread out through the different counties within the southeastern part of our country. Yes, there are too many things to talk about. We will take a few bars of our theme song, have words from our sponsor, Crime Stoppers Liberia, and we'll return. It is going to be a wonderful edition here, as we will be having a conversation with the guys from WIM. But while we are with them, a conversation currently ongoing in southeastern Liberia. When I mean southeastern Liberia, I'm referring to people in Grand Jida County, people in River G, the people in Maryland, the people in Grand Cru, those in Sino, and the folks, some part of River Cess. These are the southeastern corridors of our country. There is a conversation ongoing. There are conversations being held. The politics of the day is taking a different shape in southeastern Liberia. There is something that is being talked about, something they are talking about in the southeastern part of our country that I believe should be an issue of discussion right here on the conversation. Let me say house up to my brother Samuka Keita. He's there in Zwedru, Grand Jida County, with Smart FM. This show has been relayed across our southeastern Liberia. via the Voice of Hope in Plebo Sorokin District, the Smile FM in Grand Jida County, a host of community radio stations across Lofa, and beginning with Radio Marcona in Foya. Too many things, too many issues to talk about right here on The Conversation. Let's take a break to be right back.
Stop me cry and make a peace for them before. Stop Liberia, from the center to interior. Keeping us safe, let's stop for all of us. The people bringing safety to your door. Stop me cry and make a peace for them before. Stop Liberia, from the center to interior. Keeping us safe, let's stop for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own self-Omen, Omen Samsaya.
Okay, so welcome back to the program Freedom Hub on 87.9, the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. My name is Kai. Alexa is not here today, and so it is going to be a one-man edition here on 87.9. Too many things to talk about in the country as we speak. The campaign is currently, taking a different shift, going towards central Liberia, where the president of Liberia, Mr. George Weah, is currently in Kakata City, Magibi County. And the numbers we see popping out of Kakata is kind of very huge. The president is being supported on two separate fronts in Magibi. Just so you know, two of the most influential men in Magibi County are supporting the presidential bid of, the re-election bid of the president. And so that is what we see manifesting today in Kakata. Senator James Emmanuel Nukwe, Senator Nukwe, is supporting the re-election of the president. And by the way, Senator Nukwe was the vice standard bearer to Mr. Bwaka in 2017. The man who wanted to be vice president, the time Joe Bwaka wanted to be president in 2017. The man is Senator Emmanuel Nukwe. Nukwe is the current senator of Magibi County, and today, Magibi is standing still. Magibi County is standing still in support of the president because two of the most influential men in Magibi County are supporting the re-election bid of President George Weah. Where's Abraham? He will need to bring this telephone. I would need it. Okay, so like I told you, let me see if we can go and fetch. Let's see if we can go and fetch the voice of Mr. Nukwe. But as we speak, two of the most influential men in Magibi County, two of the most influential men in Magibi County are supporting the re-election bid of the president. Senator James Emmanuel Nukwe is one person. A few weeks ago, he made that open declaration that he is going to support the re-election bid of President George Weah. Before we play the clip bearing the voice of Senator Nukwe, let us remind you that when the elections were held in December of 2017, Senator Nukwe contested against the president's interest. He wanted to become the vice president of this country. When he didn't win the elections, President Weah appointed Mr. Nukwe. By then, he was former Speaker Nukwe. So President George Weah appointed former Speaker Nukwe to preside over the affairs at the level of the Liberian Civil Aviation Authority. The Liberian Civil Aviation Authority is the mother organization for all airplane affairs, airport affairs in the country. You know, that's what it is. For the simple English, the big office that's supposed to look after all the airplane business, all the small FE, whether the FE went to Cinco or FE went to Rawafi, the FE went to Hapo, all small FE around the country. So NUCA was sent at that area to preside over the affairs of the Liberian Civil Aviation Authority. A lot of seditions, including people who support, the president, were kind of against the move by the president to have had Mr. Nukwe appointed by then. For them, they thought Mr. Nukwe just got from the ballot. He wanted to defeat Madam Joette Taylor in the elections. And so in their opinion, it wasn't something, that they would appreciate. But the president being the president, being an individual who will normally show political tolerance and always demonstrating a character of one who is open to accommodate people irrespective of where they find themselves. They didn't, listen to all of the different distractions. He went ahead and appointed Mr. Nukwe over the affairs of the airport. But fast forward, Senator Nukwe, after 3 years in 2020, decided to go and contest in Margibi County, and he became the senator of Margibi. So according to Mr. Nukwe, he said, it is going to be an act of ingratitude. It is going to be an act of ingratitude if I, as a son of Margibi County, if I refuse to support the re-election bid of the president. I mean, in the words of Mr. Nukwe, there is a whole clip to that effect, but we'll just play part of it. He intuned, by then that for an African leader to appoint somebody who just got from the ballot paper with them to a position in their government is very difficult. Only an individual who is reconciliatory, somebody who has a mind of reconciling and forgiving people, is the only kind of person who will be brave enough to appoint their opponent to serious-minded political positions. So when we got into the year 2023, Mr. Nukwe, Senator Nukwe now went to Margibi and said, this is somebody who I fought against in 2017. After the election, he called me and he said, former Speaker Nukwe, you are a great man in this country. You are a son of this country. You are educated. There is a need that you contribute your quota to the Liberian society. And so let's work together. Come, let me send you to the airport. Go and work there. In the mind of Nukwe, a wicked leader will not do that. A very terrible leader will choose not to do it because they will be thinking that they may, contest against me. You are against me. I already win, and that's all the gain job. Because when I gain job, it will make strong. You will come out to fight me. Nukwe didn't, Nukwe was very honest, and he pledged his support to the re-election bid of Mr. President. And so today, President Weah is in Margibi County. When you see the number in Margibi County, it is because people like Senator Nukwe, who overwhelmingly won the elections in 2020 in Margibi County, have pledged his support to the president's re-election bid. And that is it. Now, the second influential individual is did I say that? Is senatorial candidate Nathaniel Fallow McGill. Whether you like it or not, the provisional, samples from the polls conducted in Margibi County will always place Nathaniel McGill ahead of all the other contenders for the position of the Senate in Margibi County. So the president is being received in Margibi County through the kind courtesy of two of the most influential men in Margibi at the moment, both Nukwe and Mangil. So the numbers you see on social media, the numbers you see popping up on Facebook are numbers that you can you can look up to, because you have two strong men who are confidants, who have already made it their responsibility to campaign in the nooks and crannies of Margibi County for the sole purpose of electing one man, and that man is George Weah. But let's go and listen to Senator Nukwe weeks ago when he made the ultimate choice to support the re-election bid of President George Weah. Listen to Senator Nukwe.
We did not succeed at the time, but we lost President Weah for me. And said,
this is the top
Mr.
result.
Speaker, you are a good man. I want you to come and work with me in my government. I said, okay, I'm open to that. After a period of time, he did not hesitate. He appointed me in his government as Director General for the Civil Aviation Authority. There were many people who went to him and said to him, this job you want to give to Nukwe is job you should give your family. And he told them, Nukwe is my family. Yes. I worked with him, but before going to the job, I met my then Senator, Ambassador Joshua Yuma Bwaka, and I told him that the president had appointed me. By then, they had exchanged visits. President Weah and his wife visited Ambassador Bwaka, former Vice President Bwaka. When I visited Ambassador Bwaka, former VP Bwaka, and told him that the president appointed me, he indicated to me his exact words, and I quote, President Weah is one of us. They did not give it to us, they gave it to him. The race for the presidency with him. We did not succeed at the time, but we lost President Weah for me and said, Mr. Speaker, you are a good man. I want you to come and work with me in my government. I said, okay, I'm open to that. After a period of time, he did not hesitate. He appointed me in his government as Director General for the Civil Aviation Authority. There were many people who went to him and said to him, this job you want to give to Nukwe is job you should give your family. And he told them, Nukwe is my family. Yes. I worked with him, but before going to the job, I met my then Senator, Ambassador Joshua Yuma Bwaka, and I told him that the president had appointed me. By then, they had exchanged visits. President Weah and his wife visited Ambassador Bwaka, former Vice President Bwaka, at his home. When I visited Ambassador Bwaka, former VP Bwaka, and told him that the president appointed me, he indicated to me his exact words, and I quote, President Weah is one of us. They did not give it to us, they gave it to him. If he sees that we can work together, let's work with him.
Okay. That was a part of the declaratory statement that was made by Senator James Emmanuel Nukwe in Margibi County. Now, when you listen to Senator Nukwe very attentively, as he was delivering this statement, he made it clear that right after the president engaged him, right after President Weah engaged him and said, Nukwe, I want us to work together, he didn't accept automatically. He went to consult former Vice President Joe Bwaka and said, Pape, the two are just from contesting against George Weah. But George Weah said, I'm going to come work in your government. What thing I'm going to do? In the words of Senator Nukwe, President Weah, Mr. Bwaka told him that Nukwe, George Weah is one of us. We went to the election. We did not win. And the people of Liberia did not give it to us, they gave it to him. And so if he will want us to work together, let us work together. That is what Senator Nukwe said, the former vice president told him. If you did not get that one, I want you to listen. And there is a reason for this conversation. So I want you to take your time and listen to this piece if at all you did not get it from the onset. Listen to it.
The race for the presidency with him. We did not succeed at the time. When we lost, President Weah phoned me and said, Mr. Speaker, you are a good man. I want you to come and work with me in my government. I said, okay, I'm open to that. After a period of time, he did not hesitate. He appointed me in his government as Director General for the Civil Aviation Authority. There were many people who went to him and said to him, this job you want to give to Nukwe is job you should give your family. And he told them, Nukwe is my family. Yes. I worked with him, but before going to the job, I met my then Senator, Ambassador Joshua Yuma Bwaka, and I told him that the president had appointed me. By then, they had exchanged visits. President Weah and his wife visited Ambassador Bwaka, former Vice President Bwaka's home. When I visited Ambassador Bwaka, former VP Bwaka, and told him that the president appointed me, he indicated to me in exact words, and I quote, President Weah is one of us. They did not give it to us, they gave it to him. If he sees that we can work together, let's work with him.
Okay. So that was exactly what he said. And later on, he made the declaration to support the re-election bid of Mr. President. So when you see the number coming out of Kakata today, the number coming out of Margibi today, it is purely on the basis of the support the government in general was able to give to folks in Margibi from the different national governmental, policies and initiatives, whether it is the WASFEs, the free tuition policy, which is affecting every citizen across the country, plus other different domestic developments that you see happening in Margibi County. I'm told there are parts of Margibi County that got, electrified under this administration. And so in addition to the development, the government is, carrying on across the country with Margibi County being inclusive. The people of Margibi also, based on our political observation, they are also turning out today in their numbers because President Weah did not see their son as an enemy. And I want this to sink in the minds of a lot of people so that our politics will not become so toxic to the extent that we will ignore the importance of individuals only because of their alignments. I just told you one of the main reasons why Margibi is overcrowded today because of the president's, visit is as a result of what the president was able to do for Margibi County, what he is doing for Margibi County, and what he has in plan as his government for Margibi County. I mean, the road from here to Rawafield, the Rawafield Highway, road that is being, constructed at the moment. I mean, 4 lanes. We were told this one on the side, the other one on the side. The road expansion will also fall into Margibi County. That is a plus for Margibi. That's development right there. There are other different initiatives. The VIP, a segment of the international airport that was done under the Weah's administration is also situated in the same Margibi with different housing units. Construction of some feeder roads, the provision of electricity, and you can name the rest of it, right? I mean, we may not have the different information available onto us at the moment. But aside from what the government was able to do from a policy perspective and from an infrastructural level, one of the reasons why the Magibians, the people from Magibi County have decided to come out in their number is because they are showing George Weah some sense of gratitude. That's what they are displaying. They are showing President Weah some form of real gratitude. That this man went into the race 2017 with our son, Nukwe. Nukwe is our son. Our strong Pele son. He's a Pele man. He went into the race with Nukwe. Other presidents across Africa, other politicians across the world would not want to see such an individual around them. But for we have to look at Nukwe after Nukwe spent all his money in the election in 2017. He was at a point of giving up. Too many things were happening around him. For President Weah to come to him and say, my man, and not because you're contesting against me and you did not win. You are a Liberian. You are a strong son of this country, a former speaker. Because of this vice president thing, you did not contest as representative. You lost the representative seat. You are still a strong man. You're a good businessman. There is a need that I bring you on board to bring your expertise to my government, the proper government, so that you will become helpful to your people in Magibi. What happened? Nukwe was appointed at the level of the Liberian Civil Aviation Authority. Do you know how many sons and daughters of Magibi County got employed at the airport? At the Civil Aviation Authority? Through the kind courtesy of Speaker Nukwe? So when you see Magibians outside, they are not exhibiting an act of ingratitude. No, they are trying to send a signal. They are trying to teach other county people that in the midst of too many controversial stuff, there is a need to be thankful. There is a need to reciprocate good when one is done in your favor. I'm not even sure. Oliver Khan, I'm not too sure if I went to an election with Austin Kawa and Austin and win. I'm not too sure I'm giving Austin job. That's what sometimes we think. We think George Weah is not. Sometimes we think Weah is not a politician. That's what we think. But most of the folks who often get angry with Mr. President when these decisions are made, sometimes they don't sit from a vantage point. Sometimes they are not looking at what the leader can see far above. There is a Nigerian proverb that says, what an elder can see while sitting, even a child at the top of the cotton tree cannot see it. So sometimes when the leader is making a decision, the subjects or the followers will sometimes get angry. But why the president giving our job to do this? But in some instances, on the overall perspective, those things are, in most instances, the right things to do. As hard as they may be when they are being done, but the end result is rewarding. Not only the part that has to do with reciprocating whatever gesture, but the mere fact of exhibiting that sense of compassion. You had to feel for something, to put somebody in your shoe. Oh, that man, our whole speaker, he got money, from other representatives and rubber business. What you are doing, the part of people came to say he must be vice president. He pumped all his money there. He got broke. That mean win. So let me find something for him because he's a son of the country. And so today, when we saw the number coming out from Wiala, other places all across Magibi, people getting in cars, getting on motorbike to go to Kakata, where the major rally is being held. I was like, this is not something strange to me because I know the people of Magibi as people who, they may have some other technical issues, but they are not people who are on record for exhibiting ingratitude. No. And so, the president is in Magibi today. Senator Nukwe is there. A few days ago, Senator Nukwe had a reconciliatory, a meeting with senatorial candidate Nathaniel McGill. And so both of them are collaborating in Magibi County to ensure that the president's dream of becoming the next president of Liberia to succeed himself will be actualized from the angle of Margibi County. So our political prediction from Margibi County, is so high. I mean, it is going to put CDC at about 75 to 80% in Margibi County. I mean, that is what I know for sure. I mean, judging from all of the influential folks in the county and what they're bringing to the table individually, you can as well tell that Margibi is going to, it's going to go blue. This is no if and but about it. The political calculations, the signals, the indicators are available, and so yeah, you can sit now and do a projection that Margibi is going to go blue because Nukwe is an influential man. I mean, we're saying he's the one who is the owner of all of the people, but in Leeward political arenas in this country, traditional politics, people tend to to take cue from their leaders, especially the leaders who are doing well on their behalf. And like I told you, when Mr. President provided a job for Nukwe did not sit there on the job all by himself. Nukwe went in Margibi County and recruited sons and daughters of Margibi and gave them jobs, including other Liberians from different counties, gave them jobs, gave them opportunities, job training opportunities at the level of the Liberian Civil Aviation Authority. And today they are men and women of their own. Some of them have started to build their own houses. Some of them are into other businesses. They are investing their earnings. Some of them are financially, stable. I mean, they've improved their own personal, capacity. They've gone to school. They've gone for some other training. And I mean, those are things that people look up to when they're making political decisions. And you think people want to be ungrateful to Nukwe? Those who Nukwe, help, they will not want to do so. You think the entire county will want to be ungrateful to the president after what the president, was able to, exhibit with reference of, to Nukwe's involvement in the process? I'm not too sure about that. So the numbers from Margibi are popping out. They are on display. You'll see it, blinking, because the president, like the Pentecostal people would say, the president saw a sea ever since. Yeah, the president saw his seas ever since. Now, the lesson from this is that we may all not, form part of the same political institution in this country. Now, I may support the United Party. You may support the CDC. This man may support the ANC. Whatever the case is, when elections are held and done, when you know that this individual is capable, he is qualified, or she is at the level where he or she can significantly contribute to the forward march of the country, you should not, on the basis of religious alignment or political alignment, choose to keep that person off. Sometimes the best brains are not with us. We may be United Partisans. If we are successful in winning elections, we may not have one of the best brains in the country. We may be seditions. If we are successful in winning elections, we may not have one of the best brains in the country. And so sometimes you go out and look for, accommodate a lot of people because you are running a government, that belongs to everybody. Although there are folks who can abuse it. Oh yeah, let's note that. There are folks who can abuse this act of this benevolent act. There are people who are noted for abusing this act of benevolence. Oh yes, they're good at doing it. People do good for you, and you can pay them back, but you fight them over it. I know a lot of people who are good at doing it. And so when you see the numbers out there, don't take my word for it. Watch different Facebook view and see the numbers you see from Kakata, Margibi County, and you will understand that Margibi, from where we sit, is a no-go zone. Perhaps the rest of the other candidates may struggle over the remaining 15%, but I think I see somewhere around 85% of Margibi County falling onto the CDC. That is what I think, and I think the president is going to have a lot of control in Margibi County as it is. And so we'll move on to another conversation. And so that's why it is. We will keep tracking the president as he's on the county tour. We are told by the time he is done with Margibi County, the president is going to visit Grand Bassa. from Grand Bassa. Perhaps he's going to be going to Riverside. I don't know the rest of the details, but what we know for sure is that after Magibi, the president may be going to Grand Bassa County in continuation of his campaign. But for Gibi and the people of Magibi, that is what you have at about, at this moment. Now, the next line of conversation today has to do with a conversation being held in the southeastern part of our country. And I want our people to listen very well. And let me say this. I want our people from Grangeda County, the people from River G, the people from Sino, the people from Grand Cru, our people from Upper Riverside, and those from Maryland County. I want them to listen, and for them to listen very well. There is a serious propaganda being taken to the southeastern part of our country by people who do not mean well for the country. Now, the reason why I said they do not mean well for the country is not because they do not support the president, but because they are putting a divisive statement, a divisive content, that if everybody chooses to preach such a content, it is going to disintegrate Liberia. It is going to create a situation where the country is going to be, running on a sectional basis. This session, we say, when we get there, that we will take it. It means this other session will say when we get there, that we the one will take it. Now, when you run the country that way, you are breeding tension. Now, you are creating situation, for conflict. You are creating situation for marginalization. And when that is the order of the day, oh no, the country could explode into serious tension, serious political confusion, and that could lead to civil unrest. And that's why I'm saying to you, those who are putting what is being discussed in the southeastern part of our country do not mean well for the country. And I'm asking the southeasterners not to pay heed to it, because it is the most dangerous thing that can ever happen in this country. Now, let's go to the issue. There are people who have gone to the southeastern part of our country with a particular message. The message is, you're sitting down here, the president not being rule for you, but the president being rule in Lofa, the president being rule in Bassa, the president being rule in Magibi, the president being rule in Kema, the president being rule, and they keep spreading this information to the southeasterners. And I want you to listen. And they're putting it with the intent of getting the southeastern people of this country to begin to think that the president rejected them or the president has abandoned them. To do that is the highest level, the highest level of insincerity to do that. Because you know why? When you are the president of the country, you are the president of the entire country and not for a particular region. But let's go to the truth. I mean, let's go to the to what is established as facts. The first thing is, to go to the Southeast and say the president has abandoned the Southeast is a pure blinking lie that they are telling on purpose. They are purposely saying it because they want to put the president against the southeastern region. They know that they've done everything to the president in Monserrado County, to unravel the president's stronghold. They've succeeded, in 2 different elections. From the recent mobilization we've been having in the country, from what we see the president and his party, doing in Monserrado, they've understood that Monserrado is not going to be easy like it was in 2020. They've also understood that Lofa County, that used to be, off the hook of the president and his party. Lofa is also coming out, with a lot of support from the president, getting huge support from that angle. And so one of the most dangerous campaign they're planning to push is to go to the president's stronghold and create a false sense of impression amongst the Southeasterners that the president, who is a Southeastern product, has abandoned his people. That is not only false, but it is anti-productive to the peace of the country. And I'll take you there. The first thing is the information is not authentic. For you to go to the southeastern part of our country, you can pass 2 different places to go to the southeast. To go to southeastern Liberia, you can pass to 2 different places. The first place you can pass to go to southeastern Liberia when you're coming from Monrovia, you can go Kakata, you go Banga, then you go Ganta. From Ganta, you go Sacré-Pied. From Sacré-Pied, you go Tapeta. From Tapeta, you go Tostan. From Tostan, then you enter Zweju. From Zweju, you enter Kelipo Kaweken. From Kelipo Kaweken, you go to Kweipo Kaweken. From Kweipo Kaweken, you go to Fishtown. From Fishtown, you will enter the Webo area. From Webo, you go to Kaloken. From Kaloken, you go Plibo, you go Harper, then you enter the Atlantic Ocean, and Liberia finish. The only thing I know in this country is Liberia. Are you surprised how I just drew the map of the country? There are 2 routes going to the southeast. The first one is from Monserrado to Magibi, Nimba, Grand Gila, River G, Maryland, and you're in the ocean. From Maryland, you can go to Grand Crew, you come back to Sino. That's the second route you're using. From Sino, you're in Riverside, Bassa, Magibi, you're back to Monserrado. Those are the 2 routes leading to the southeastern part of our country. Now, for Mr. Cummings and other people to go to the southeast with a serious deception intended to put the president against the southeasterners, is not only devilish, but it is also anti-democratic. It is something that has the ability to ignite tension and further divide the country. And that's why these divisive politics should not be given chance to survive under our watch. As pundits, as politicians, as media people, as political analysts, as electors, and so forth. The truth of the matter is, to say the president abandoned the Southeast, then it means you do not know the link or the major routes across this country. Before President Weah could take over as president of this country, when you're coming from the Southeast, you can be praying to God. God, the Moria where I'm going. I just want to let me enter Ganta. By the time I enter Ganta, my problem solved. Because from Ganta to Moria, Dakota. Ask all the crew people from Grand Crew, the crew people from Sino, ask the crew people from Maryland and River G, ask the crew people from Grand Gila and parts of Sino. They will tell you that when you are coming from the Southeast, your worry is, God, let me reach Ganta. Because from Ganta to Monrovia is paved. That has been the Southeastern worry. Today, when people coming from the Southeastern region, their prayer is, God, let me reach between Tapeta and Sacré-Pied. That is their prayer. You know why? Because when we had took over in 2018, the quota was only in Ganta. His government said, we need to connect northern, central, and western Liberia to southeastern Liberia. The way we do it is to take the road from Ganta towards the southeast. And let's start it in phases. Let's take the first part of it from Ganta to Saclay-Pied. Then we'll take the second part of it from Saclay-Pied to Tapeta. We'll do the third part of the road from Tapeta to Toastown. The fourth portion will be from Toastown to Zwedru. Then on the second approach, we'll take the road from Palipo, Fishtown to Kelipo Kaweken. That's the second approach of the road we do. So what the president thought to do from 2018 up to now was to complete somewhere around 91% of the one between Ganta to Saclay-Pied. I did not say 100% because there is some 9% of the road yet to be completed, but coverage, everything were done. Bridges done. The rear quota pavement between Ganta to Saclay-Pied is at 91%. As we speak, there is active work ongoing, contracts already signed to do the road from Saclay-Pied to Tapeta. The contractors are there. They've received their money. Government owe them. They were basically constructing bridges, constructing culverts, opening up the roads, laying the lateral, part of the road, the first base course. They will come back and put the stone and later on start to do the quota. Perhaps during the Canada tour, we'll go towards the Saclay-Pied and Tapeta corridor to know where that project is. Now, the road we are talking about from Ganta to Saclay-Pied is the road leading to the southeast. So for you to go to the southeast and say the president abandoned the southeast, then something is not adding up. Because you can jump over Nimba to go to the southeast. I mean, then what kind of country you're building? No, what kind of country you're building? To go to the southeast, you will start from Nimba. I bet you, give the people who go into the southeast and say the president ain't building the road in the southeast, give them car and tell them, say, please go to the southeast for me. They will pass through Ganta. From Ganta, they will go to Saclay-Pied. From Saclay-Pied, they will go to Tapeta. So how do you expect the president to take roads to the southeast without connecting what was already there to keep going towards where the road is needed the most? So what they are saying in return is that the president should abandon the entire country. That is the message they are preaching, because for you to go and say the man abandon, and by the way, I just told you about the portion between Ganta to Saclay-Pied. I told you about the contract that was signed between Saclay-Pied to Tapeta. I also told you the Ministry of Public Works also broke ground for the one that will be done from Tapeta to Toastown in Grange County. Those funds were already mobilized. As we speak, the road is being done from Fishtown towards the Kanwiaken area. The first Kanwiaken and the second Kanwiaken, which is at the boundary between Grand Jida and River G. So the road is being tackled by the Weas administration from two fronts. One group of people are taking the road from Ganta towards Tapeta. The other group of people are taking it from Fishtown towards Kelipo Kaweken. This is a road that has been in that area from the day Liberia became Liberia. One simple quota had never touched that corridor. Between Ganta to Fishtown today, one simple quota did not touch that corridor until we came to power. Today, close to Saclay-Pied is with 91% of quota. Now, to look at that, to ride on quota from Ganta towards Saclay-Pied, the road leading to the southeast, and eventually you end up in Kelipo Kaweken, or you end up in Barobo, Maryland County, or you end up in Bewan, Grand Creek County, and say they may abandon you. To say that is to be so insincere and dishonest to yourself. Because to do the southeastern road, you will not fly in the air. You can't jump over Nimba to go to the southeast. It is not possible. Now, what you are telling the people of the southeast is that when the president became president, he's supposed to have abandoned the entire country. Leave the people in Johnsonville who were suffering with a lot of other issues, and say, okay, they're 4, 5, 6 kilometers we are doing in Johnsonville. We're not doing. We're sending in the southeast. Now, when you what you're telling the people in the Southeast that the president should have done is that the president should have abandoned the whole country. You know, Lower County that is also in that need a role. You're saying the president he shouldn't have done the 39 kilometer from Bon County up to Salae. He should have taken it to the Southeast. Do you know what would have happened to this country if you have a president who would just keep taking all of the project to the region or to the county where he or she is from? Do you know what's going to happen in this country? That is recipe for chaos. That is recipe for serious tension, because the rest of the country will feel, marginalized. The rest of the country will feel deprived of the national cake. Beyond this, it is against the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia for a certain government to prioritize a particular area over the rest of the country. So to see people running to the Southeast and think you are making politics out of it, you are treading on dangerous path. You should not do it. You should not. The people in Sacré-Pied, from the day they were established as a tribal people, from the day Sacré-Pied was made, they've never ever in their entire life, they've never seen quota until we have become president. Oh, the road from Ghana to Sacré-Pied, that road not going Monrovia. That road is not going to Guinea. The road is going to the Southeast. Under the arrangement of the president, this administration, from what the data we've collected, the government was able to secure fundings for the road to the Southeast up to Toastown in Grand-Gide. Now, let me break it down. Before you buy even shoes, what you can wear, the first thing you can do, you think about what kind of shoe you want to wear. Whether you want to wear Macalor, you want to wear Veve, or you want to wear the Stand Forever. Now, when you think about what kind of shoe you want to wear, the next thing that you think about is how much for the shoe I want to wear. Then you find that type of money, you think about the money, you say, okay, the shoe is $100. When you find the shoe $100, you say, where do I buy the shoe? I should go Waterside, I should go Raleigh, or I should go to Gobacho. When you make that determination, then you choose now to take the money and go buy the shoes. Sometimes it takes you 3-4 hours to go to where you want to buy the shoes. Sometimes you go buy the shoes, where you go to buy it, if people say, oh, you know, the shoe are here, but it's finished. Wait, next week we'll bring it. So long as it is that shoe that you need, obviously you will wait for the next week. What am I trying to portray? These contracts were signed and awarded to contractors. When you go on the road between these corridors, you will find these contractors assembling their materials there. They are there. Contractors are on the road between Ghana to Sacré-Pied. Similarly, between Sacré-Pied to Tabeta. The jet program for the one between Tabeta to Toastown, so I cannot tell you whether contractors are there or not. No, I want to be honest on the platform. Between Fishtown to Peipo Kaweken in River G, contractors are there to ensure that the quota that President Weah met, you know, in Plibo, and he brought it to Fishtown to ensure that that quota will leave Fishtown and come to Kaweken, from Kaweken to the other Kaweken, and then to Zwedru. So on two fronts, the government is tackling the Southeastern road. So for you to go to the Southeast and make the people to appear to be so silly, because when you're telling people what they are already seeing, what they know, and you still finding means to lie to them, or to lie to yourself, or to deceive them, or to make them look funny, to do that is purely, it is something that I cannot even describe. What were you guys even thinking? That we should have a president who will focus on where he or she is from alone? Do you know what will happen to the rest of the country? Do you know what will happen to the rest of the country? If we make Alexa president today, and Alexa say I would choose to take all of the projects to Kakata where I went to school, or Makibi. So I make sure that no dusty road being Makibi. I mentioned this. When you do that, the people from Bombay will start to have issues. The people from Makibi will start to have, so you will find out that the rest of the country will start to go against the people from that particular place that the president is focusing on. Why I want to be happening? Do you know what will happen to the Southeasterners all across the country if that would have been the decision of the president to squarely focus on? Come on, you don't do that. You don't do it. The most frustrating thing is that the president inherited a country that almost everything that we should be mentioning in this country had no good standing. The road from Ghana to Fistown, that road did not taste one piece of quota from the day this country was made. Today, there are some villages that can tell you, say, we got quota now. So it is going to take time. The good thing is that whether the president is president after election or the president is not president after election, one thing that is clear, that is signed, and that is already sealed is that the money to do the road from Ganta all the way to Tapeta, down to Toaston, that money was already secured by President Weah. So even you move Weah, you put Austin Kawa there as president of this country. Austin Kawa will only be taking the money. You know, they want in a negotiation. In other one where other people went to negotiate and say, oh, we want you to do the road for all. People say, okay, yeah, we it. But we have to sit down and sign paper and do the transaction. No, another one. This one, they already do the discussion, they do the transaction, they sign paper, they even get the money to contractor. So I mean, it is the government of Liberia that is the official owner of those projects. Whether you like it or not, the road from here to Toasttown, the funds were secure, the money made available, and contractors are with it. They are doing mobilization of their equipment to get the road done. The bad thing we have in this country is the fact that rain was even falling up to March. March of this year, we have rain falling in the southeast. So it becomes more difficult for most of the contractors to do the road when it was raining, because you got trucks going to the southeast carrying fuel oil, they're carrying heavy goods, to the southeast. So once the rain is falling in the southeastern rainforest, when one truck passes, the road is muddy. Before you know it, it's difficult for the contractors to work. So they are waiting for dry season. Whether we are president today, whether he's not president tomorrow, whether he's president tomorrow, he's not president tomorrow, the road from Ganta all the way to Toasttown was paid for, funds generated, everything under his government. Now, to go to the southeast and say he is doing nothing at all about the southeastern road, it is a disservice. You are not sincere. And politics should not be about lies. Oh, you see me? You think if I would want to lie, you think I would have told you that from Ganta to Toasttown, get quota. But you can lie about it because the people there know. The truth is, from Ganta to Sacre Pierre, about 91% is done. That's something I drove on. I know about it. I drove on that road. It's done. From Sacre Pierre to Tapeta, they are opening up the road. They're opening it up. They're putting the gravel. Again, the rain will give them trouble. But I'm told they are supposed to start laying the quota beginning the very month we are having election is supposed to start. Because the money for those funds, those projects were already made available. Now, so to go there and say the man doing nothing means there is absolutely not even 1% of job done towards that effect. And you don't want to be that disingenuous. I see folks running with that political narrative. The bottom line here is we should discourage these sectional politics. When they make somebody president in this country, that person is not president for the country where they come from or the region that they are from. The one may walk in the country way back. The one may walk in plenty of countries across the world, especially in Africa. When people who support their politicians in African countries and other places start to put that mentality in the minds of the leaders. That my man, you from Freedom FM also, all the microphone that will come to the country carry the Freedom FM. When you start to do that, you create animosity between Freedom FM and other radio stations. So the next thing you'll see, the rest of the country will go against Freedom. I mean, the rest of the other media houses. So when you are elected president of the country, and that's the same thing the president did. When he became president, he did not say, only those who voted for me, I will give jobs. There are even people who insulted the president during the campaign. When he became president, he gave them fat jobs. He did not do it because he never knew what he was doing. No. Nobody should ever think that the president did all of what he did because, I mean, sorry to say, because he ignorantly did it. No. He did that consciously. It was not a mistake. He did that with his right frame of mind. He did that purposely because he knew when he became president, when they sang the national anthem, they sang the anthem of the Republic of Liberia, inclusive of those who can cause him, those who support a party, those who not support a party, those who from a tribe, those who not from a tribe, those who from a region, those who not from a region. He became president for the entire country. To see such a man and say he should focus on, come on, I'm a Southeasterner, I will want it. I'm a Southeasterner. I could join my old car and drive from Monrovia and go straight to the southeast and come out the next day. Okay, the crew people will be happy, the Crown people will be happy, the Grove people will be happy, the Baza people will be happy, the Saba people will be happy. Oh yeah, the Southeasterners will be happy. What happens to the rest of the country? Would they be happy? No. So the president said, the problem of Liberia is a holistic problem. The Southeastern is suffering. The people of Lofa too are also suffering. So as I am going to be doing the road from Banga Bon County towards Salae, up to the Konya area, as the first phase, I will also be doing the road from Ganta Nima County towards Tapeta up to Toasttown in my first term. I will make sure the monies are available and some of the work will start. That is what he did. At the same time, people from Nima County want to go to Aricos because sometimes they don't want to come to Monrovia. Monrovia is too far, but Aricos is so closer. I will do the road from Ganta to Sacre Pied to the Locato border. So in every major region in the country, there is some form of major road construction ongoing. That is what a leader of the country is supposed to do. But to tell the president, say, oh, because you're from the Southeast, he's going to do all the Southeastern road in your first term, come on. Let's go to the political part of it. If the reason you are arguing, and I'm saying this to the people who are taking the debate to the Southeast, some of them say, oh, y'all for them are the man in the Southeast. Well, instead of man bringing all of the road, yeah, he do it. He bringing road in other places. Good. From the political side that you are pushing, you could also be wrong. So let's assume, right? Let's assume that, okay, the president said, you know what? I will just vote, I will just do only the Southeast. I will not pay Emory Hospital. I will not pay Invisible Park. I will not pay the Johnsonville Road. I will not do the Tusafi Road. I will not do the Patient Shah Road. I will not do the Portland Road. I will not do the Man Barkley Road. I will not do the Rehab Road. I will not do the Marco Francis Road. I will not pay the road in Fairground. I will not do the Banga Broad Street Road. I will not do the different road projects across the country. I will not pay Propo Housing Unit. Will not pay the 14 Military Hospital. Will not do anything. Will not pay tuition for people attending university. Will not pay free YF, fees. We will go and put all the money on the Southeastern Road, assuming that what the president did, because he got most of the vote from the Southeast. Do you know what that means politically for the president? It means you don't even like the president. It means you yourself, you who put in this argument, it means you do not like the president because the Southeast as a unit, from a political number perspective, will not even save him. The thing you're telling the president to do is say, just grab the Southeast, turn your back to the whole country. Don't think about what I love people not see quota before. Don't get in one. Don't think about what from Ganda to Sanikwele. Okay, don't get in one. Don't think about the other one. Just focus on the Southeast. If you think it was the best political decision that you would have given to the president, had the president done that, do you think the number of people that you see running up in Ganta, Nima County, and all over Nima now, do you think those people will have a good heart for the president? All that people are doing around here, by the time the president steps foot in Nima County, there's going to be a different ball game. The Nimbayans have appreciated the level of work being done. In fact, Nimbayans are happy that the president is the one trying his weak ways out of nothing to connect them to southeastern Liberia. Oh yes, Nimbayans want to go to Grangeda County on a daily basis and come back. From 1847 up to 2018, it has been a difficult thing for Nimbayans to go to Grangeda, River G, up towards Maryland. It is George Weah who is taking Nimba from Ganta through Sacré-Pied, Tapeta onwards to the southeastern part of the country. You think Nimbayans are not aware of it? So if your argument is that the South voted for you, so you just do all the project here, that means you don't even like the president. Secondly, you don't even like the Southeasterners, because to do that is to put the Southeasterners against the country. You guys should not take this political desperation thing to ruin the image of this country. Stop. I know you won't win elections. I know you look for whatever thing to grab onto, but in your quest to push these arguments, let not your desperation to seek power lead you to putting divisive messages. It is dangerous. Don't do it. And they pretending he's we are also we start eating up the man said, come on, to do that will be the most, it will be the biggest mistake in the life of the president. The biggest mistake if he had listened to those kind of pieces of advice. What we can say is that the corridor between Ganta to Arcos is already somewhere around 80 to 85%. The Lofa project is somewhere around 20 to 25%. With all of the commitments around the corridor, judging from the efforts of the president toward to Qatar, other places, the different commitment we keep hearing in the corner, in 2-3 years' time, the road that is currently at Salaye could be running up towards, the middle part of Lofa County as far as Vonjima. Why the Southeastern Road? Like I told you, the Southeastern Road, the funds are already situated at Tostown. So in 3 years from now, we'll be talking about the completion of that one. Why the portion between Tostown to Kelipo Kaweken, which is at the boundary between River G and Grangeda, will be already in full swing. By the time you know it, the entire Southeastern corridor is clear. Lofa County is somewhere around maybe 20 to 15%, remaining completion. Western Liberia, Medina, the Rabasport is already done. The country is over. Liberia is not big. The only way you can tackle the problems of the country in the midst of scarce resources, small resources, is to take it small. You put some you put some on the side, you put on the side, then everybody laughing together. But to advise the president, say, put everything in one place, it means you not like the president, number one. Number two, you not even like the Southeasterners. Number three, you are divisive as an individual. That's not what you want to do. Oh, if President Karakota to Joe Bagahun. So take all I want and bring it here. Come on. Oh, is it only because of Bwaka? Oh, is it? Oh, so the president, because of Bwaka, so the president shooting. There are Lofians. There were Lofians before Bwaka was born. There will remain Lofa County and Lofians when Bwaka is gone and no more. To deprive Lofians of good road because Bwaka is from there, some of the argument the guys are pushing in the Southeast. To deprive Lofa of good road because Bwaka come from there. So, the men will go away against him, that the main county, where in Karakota, the Kota cross Lofa Bridge. It was soon part of Salai. You go carry that kind of foreign politics in the Southeast. Also, because of one man, you said the man should abandon another country, another county that is a part of the country he was elected to serve as president for. To do that, then you should go do some kind of medical examination. But the truth is, from the data we have available unto us, the only thing the Southeast is waiting for is time. If roads could be done in 2 days, I'll tell you, say the government will do the road from Sacré-Pied to Toastan in 2 days. If roads could be done in 2 days, because everything that we need as a country to do the road from Sacré-Pied to Toastan, the government already got all. To the extent that some of the money, almost 80% of the money, no longer in the hands of the government. The contractors, the men who get the machine, the men who can bring the quota water in the country, the men who can get the front end loader and the compactor, that their hands do, all the money in. The money no longer in the hands of the government. So in the midst of all of these things happening, I know, the Southeastern region have been there since 1847. We all been there. We all been crying. And that's why I was telling you, when we're small coming up in the Southeast, when we're coming to Monrovia for vacation, our prayer is, God, let me read Ganta. God, let me read Ganta. When I read Ganta from Ghana to Moria, Dakota. Those were the prayers we had. 2000, 2002, 1999, when we were coming to Monrovia. Those were the prayers we had. Today, the Southeasterners can no longer recite that same prayer the same way, although it is still challenging. But at least instead of saying, God, let me read Ganta, they can be saying, God, let me read Tabeta, because even at the level of Tabeta, though the road is not paved 100%, but it is pliable because the contractors there, they are working, they open it up so that they can start putting the quota. So at that level, it is movable, it is pliable. First, before the prayer was, let me read Ganta. Today, the prayer is, let me reach Tabeta. In 3 years' time, the prayer will be, God, let me reach Toasttown. And that's how the country problem will solve. But to have advised the president to go to the side and say the man was supposed to just do their place, the country money now for only one region. That's why when you even look into the Constitution, it says the president and the vice president should not come from the same county. It is because the people who made our laws, the framers of our Constitution, were very clear. They never went to any situation where the government will be heavily concentrated in a particular space. So you don't want to do that. So you don't even say, the person who you want to make president, when they become president, they only focus on the place they are from. So you are not even helping the person who you are putting. For those of you who are putting this argument in the Southeast with the notion that it was anger the Southeasterners to go against the president, you are even making it worse for the men who you are supporting, the woman who you are supporting, because by you telling the people that, it's like you are also telling them the men who are selling to you, if the men win to, that what the men will do. And that man is not from the Southeast. Those people may not be from the Southeast. They are from other regions. So are you in essence, are you saying that when they come to power, what you are suggesting that the president should have done is what they will be doing? To do so will be so chaotic. It will incite tension in the country. It's going to divide Liberians, and that's not the kind of leaders we need. Some of the people running the kind of conversations are people who will become ministers when their kind of government comes to power. So to start having the kind of mindset as partisans running campaign, partisans of political party, political parties in the country are potential ministers, potential directors, right? So when you find partisans start pushing the kind of divisive conversations, imagine what will happen if they are sitting on the table in their cabinet minister position. They're going to be influencing decisions from a negative perspective that will be detrimental to the survivability of this country. And that is not something that we need as a people. No, that's not what we need. And so it is a sick thing to hear. As I wind down, let the truth be told that in as much as the road from the Southeast to Greater Monrovia and other places, the road is not 100% done, but a good portion of resource mobilization and actual work is ongoing. It is devastating. It is so hard. It is a bad thing. Sometimes you're in serious danger. You can feel hurt that you can spend some 2-3 days to places you just want to pass in 2 hours time. But that's what we are confronted with as a country. A country where you ain't got plenty of money in the country. A country where all of the places that are supposed to give us money, got depleted before the government came to power. Those are the kind of things you will see happening. Are we making significant progress as a country? Yes. Even those who are preaching this divisive thing. They themselves know that the government collected money for the road up to Toasttown. It means government not looking for no money anywhere again to do the Southeastern Road from Ganta to Toasttown. They already found the money. They find the contractor get the money. They're gathering the machines. The work will start. That record is available. Everybody in the country know. But to keep putting it in the Southeast, for me, I cannot sit and allow such thing to happen. I mean, I would be so angry if we got the president from Bon County one day and the people from Bon County sat there and the president say, Chief, you should be bringing all the things to Central Liberia. Let it be coming to Magibi, part of Lofa and part of Nimba. Don't carry it to Bombing Kema or Guapolu. Don't carry it to the west. Don't carry it to the southeast. Other places. No. When the man is president, when she is president, she or he, will be elected on the basis of presiding over the affairs of the entire country and not a particular section. That is the message. Yeah, and so I ain't gonna say more about it. We just thought to erect this checkpoint so that in their desperation for power, so that in the process of competing for votes across the country, you will not be subjected to this pure deception. To carry road to Southeast, you must start from Nima. Oh, yes. You should start from Nima. Because even the worst case scenario is, okay, we won't start from River G to start coming. What will you pass the materials? Come on, I mean, sometimes we gotta be strategic, especially with the ring and other situations. But as it is, the records are available. You can go on the roads and see those mobilizations on, and whatever the situation. Please, Joe will not be president in the country forever. If the person we will win 2023, he will win. And he become president, he will spend 6 years and he will leave. 10 years, 30 years from now, we will not be president. Don't allow your anger, your issue about to lead you to creating something that will breed tension amongst regions in this country. It is dangerous. Don't do it. And none of you should even support your leaders who will choose to take everything to the country. Don't do it. Don't support it. The bar we are do to go and say, let me test part of Lofa because Lofa too, from the day God born Lofa not test quota yet. The bar. No, the bar we are do to say, okay, Nima, one of the biggest country in the country, the quota ya come tomorrow, just stop in Ganta. Saniquele, where the capital in Teshi, and that road too is leading towards Aracos. Okay, so what we do, let's pave the road, let it go Aracos, so that at least the Nima people too, as big as they are, and as economic, hub of Liberia, they will be strategic. So as we are improving on the economic, status of Nima County to make it more vibrant in central northern Liberia, let us also take the road from Nima towards the southeast. That's how he started taking it towards Saclapie, from Saclapie to Tapeta to Toasttown. In terms of the resources were gathered from Toasttown up to Saclapie. Actual works got done from Ganta to Saclapie, and that is the game. So to look at all of these things and say nothing has been done, as in nothing, is mean you are insincere. You don't want to do that. Let's take our break. When we come back, we take calls on all of the issues we talk about right here on the People's Station.
There are crowds in many places. People bringing safety to your door. Crime stop me crime and make it peace for them before. Crime stop all Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stop. Keeping us safe, let's stop now for all of our Crime Stopper. The people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper. Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior. Crime Stopper. Keeping us safe, let's stop now for all of our.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own Omen Sam Zion.
Okay, Crime Stoppers is our official sponsor here on 87.9. My name is Kai, and I had this on a different duty today. So let's go to the lines and take your calls. The president is currently in Margibi County as a result of the huge mobilization from two of the most influential men in the county, Nathaniel Fallow Magill and former Speaker, now Senator James Emmanuel Nukwe. The numbers are 086-500-104, 0776-104-104 are the numbers to join the conversation here on 87.9. The WhatsApp number for the international callers is plus 231-886-500-104. Plus 231-886-500-104 are the numbers to join the conversation. Let's take the first person on the line. Go ahead. What's your name?
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening, my dear brother. Let's hear you, Chief.
Well, thank you very much. I listened to you when Alexander Kumi was saying. When he be a president, he will do everything one day time. I'm listening to the people what they can say over social media. They mean what the president do in the country, the people will not appreciate. One day, the people they see it, but they don't want to talk about it. And we see it, and nobody will convince you. Sorry for that. I'm calling for Cape Mount County.
Okay.
I'm living in this, yes, South Kamocheno, sorry.
Okay.
I'm one of the supporter of CDC. There is no way to hide behind my finger. I will tell you that. If you are using the party, we do that problem with you. What the party? The people know what they mean in the country. They see it. But the girls over it, what they're supposed to do, they don't do it. Thank you very much. We listen to you every day.
Thank you very much. Thank you, my brother from Grand Cape County. Let's leave you and take this other person. Go ahead. Good evening, my brother. Let's hear you. What's your name? Where you join us from?
I'm calling for FDA.
FDA. Go ahead, Collie.
Yeah, see how you perform very well in studio. I just enjoy it today a bit. You know, these guys want to bring chaos to the country. Yeah, because you can say the thing the president doing, and you guys went up there to go do campaign saying that kind of thing. They are complete chaos you want to bring to the country.
Oh yeah.
But I like guys the kind of thing. Thank you very much. You really perform well.
Thank you very much from FDA community. Let's leave you and take the other person. Go ahead. Hello.
Yeah, no.
Let's hear you. Go ahead. What's your name?
I'm calling for 20th Street.
20th Street. Go ahead.
I say, you can send Nathaniel Makeri, not Kiri. Not that will win, not Kiri, and the president will win that. You come for the teacher and media. If you want shit, they got nothing to say. So you're right, what I don't lie. Thank you.
Thank you very much. From 20th Street, we leave you. We take this other person. What is the name? Where you join us from?
Good morning. Good afternoon, sir.
Good evening, my dear brother. Let's hear you.
I'm Severin Kufasa calling for the SKD Boulevard.
SKD Boulevard. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
You know the people now have not mistakes. The president there to bring security to this country. The president cannot leave the other country and go to Grenku or Sanuka and start paying room for them and pay one country before come back to the other country. So for us, they cannot do it. They cannot stay up. They cannot bring care between us. Thank you very much, sure.
Thank you very much. We leave you. We take the other person. Go ahead. Let's hear you. 1 minute.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me load the video.
Go ahead, Chief. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. I'm Madison. I'm praying for the borough. I'm here for Maryland also.
Go ahead, Madison.
These people you see, they just don't have anything to say. I don't know if they are not. They don't really think. We're the population for that side already. That's one of the things they have to look at. We continue to tell people we are in here for that side. What should we focus on this is what are they really want? And if they're not coming soon, they won't go around pushing the other, I don't know how we call it, reckless to the people. What have they done? Even in Maryland, when you say it's uniform. What Alexander Comey has done for Maryland? Nobody in Maryland that hold a position that Alexander Comey knows. He's just going around and just falling. You even know that much measure to push my brother. So we are ready. Maybe by next week, tomorrow we'll be living in camping and be going to our people to tell them the truth. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. From Nicoton, we leave you. We take other calls here. The numbers are the same. Join the conversation. Let's see whether we can take this person. Go ahead. What is your name? Where you join us from?
Good evening, KOK. Good evening to all people in the place who are in tune this evening. Calling from Benson Street. This is Gus Hill.
Go ahead, Gus.
KOK, first I want to applaud you for raising this issue that has to do with the president appointing or direct or opponent in Senator Lukwe right after the election to a very lucrative position. And my appreciation to you comes against the backdrop that of late something happened and this needs to stop. Every Liberian, irrespective of your political orientation or leanings, deserves a job in this country once you are qualified. And if that statement is anything to go by, there is a complaint coming from the end of the LPRC where some United Party personnel at the end were sacked by the HRN or deputy managing director simply because of them wearing their t-shirts or campaigning for their party. I do not think this is something that we should be doing. This is something that just because it can happen to any Liberian in association, I will not continue that happening to
We leave you right there, Gus. Thank you very much. Thank you. We leave you. Let's take this other person. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Good evening. Let's hear you quickly.
yeah, my name is Isaac Hussein. I'm joining the conversation when I try to kill my food. He prefers to be called son of KOK.
Go ahead, Isaac.
Sometimes if I feel in danger that the ANC food is carrying this type of
Not only the guys from the ANC. I mean, almost all of the major opposition parties.
The reason I'm mentioning the ANC is because every time I work with the Coca-Cola factory, how many people he employ from that region that he can go there today? Joseph Brother was a 12 years president here. Why he did not build the road from Moruba to Lofa? These people don't have anything to tell to go to the people and campaign the people. Every day, some of us will listen to the radio, then listen to you guys on the radio. It inspires us more to support this president. And the issue of Magidi, somehow it's not surprising to all seeing and the group of people like for today I was watching on live video, people is pulling off in Magidi. Not surprising. I'm not like that much happy, but because we expect things. When you work in the night at the day, you have to rest. It's what happened to the president. We are work overtime, so it's time for him to rest and let the people appreciate him. So everywhere he goes in the country, he will be appreciated as he has done his hard work for the people in this country. So come on, we are going to the put to edit it up to 6 o'clock in the morning to read the president only one round today. Thank you for having me.
We leave you right there. We take this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. What's your name? Where you join us from? Go ahead, Williams.
Thank you, Khan. The sick I go campaign messages carry on. And I think it can so far in the bureau. Because we have Freedom FM, Banana FM, those stations that mean well for Liberian people, they are there pushing peaceful things. Now because we are going to election, then we are divided. Like divided politics they're pushing. And that can work. Granted, people know that President Weah will do for them. But we are building a Barrow Hospital in Grandida, almost in the completion. And the road is going there. We know the road is important. And the money not just wasting the ground, somebody find it and bring a better road. We are going to lobby and bring it and build another road. And Labro, and I got now only I got voted for President Weah. So we know that. All Labro voted for President Weah. For I got put them in the power. So they got to do I got for everybody. So the government have money in cover that they get the money I got building road. You got to lobby for it and bring it and put it there. So that thing they turn on. Let me tell you for him and Charlie. You know, we'll kill for you. You got here, on fire. Okay, I know. So I need to hear about the Thank you very much.
Thank you. We leave it right there. We take this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. Let's hear you.
Okay, how you doing, Baba?
We are great.
Okay, this is the General Master. I'm calling from 18 residents.
Go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am.
Let me say thank you for the topic this evening. I want to tell you your uncle and why it needs Kerekuye. You get want to carry campaign message. what he has done for the Maryland people, what you saying from Maryland. You even know who part hostile. Someone's doing wrong, you're not for it there. Okay, he said, but they were not very for the people. When you say, for how many years? He was white people for he was a president. When the Kota carry in Maryland, like he came from, on the highway. Why you now put it in? Let's show it to us. What you done with the people in Maryland? For the people you say came from Maryland, why you took only man? What you done with in Maryland country? And he said, because the man left you, he said, put them say, man, I live there in Maryland. He been to the place there. Focus on where coming to us. You can go and get it, you bring food. You sell in the market, you go back. You take food, you can't on the Maryland. Then about them, right in Maryland. You think we're too many that country with the Maryland or the great people? We're not too bad yet. We know what looking for, we know now Barrel Road. Too many food, but they are, the man here, you got Barrel Road. Or you want to get to Malaysia, minute. We don't get to Malaysia business yet. And we have a Barrel Road. Say the money can pay them when they have it. We are going for you. One thing has 7%. One thing around you get 2%. Thank you for your show. No percent.
Masisi. Wow. Here you go. This woman is a whole bundle. This person, 1 minute, go ahead. Let's hear you. The name is Jesus Bonasushi from Bombay County this afternoon. Bombay County, what part of Bombay you joining us from?
To be precise, Saxtown.
Saxtown, Bombay County. Go ahead, let's hear you.
Yes. For me, I don't want to tell the people what is happening for me. No one should say the country that is so complete to the end of the liberty for say. I told one guy, I said, Joseph Bakar, just show me 2 reasons that I know you go Bakar. You can't prefer. You can't prefer. So for me, I don't want to tell the people for me, they should just relax. 20 or 8, we should just go do what we do. We just go for it. Today, you can see how many Jews, because we are, they get out, the people they get out, Jews, they go to the banner, the school water, the banner, food, they eat, they become the president. So for me, the people for me, we are heavily loaded and we're very prepared.
Okay, thank you very much from Bombay County. Let's leave and take this person from the international line. What is your name?
Yeah, my name is Vamoya. I'm Fofana KOK.
Go ahead, Vamoya.
Yeah, KOK, you don't expect people to say good about the government. They're not surprised when they're not going to solve it and we'll say the president not doing nothing. As he said it, the president not president for the solve it, the president for the whole entire country. The way I can hear me that many people can preach that the president has done nothing. We understand time is hard, everything is not correct. But the man has done something. But when you go to the people, the man has not done nothing. He lying to the people.
But here is the argument. You go to the people, you say, oh, the man is not being your role, but he's being a rowing Lofa, he's being a rowing Nimba. I mean, how come you come on the side, you say he's not doing anything? You go to the other place and say he's not doing it for you, he's doing it for the other people. I mean, what a contradiction.
Those are the devils among us who live in the nation we live in. Those are the devils that live among us. They will not see the good. They will see the good. They say, no, they are not the good. That the bad. That the devil that will get among here. But when you talk, they get vexed. When you tell the people the truth, they get vexed. Why you want to get vexed? Somebody told me that there's no quota in Lofa. My own friend Rufian tell me that there's no quota in Lofa. I did my man, he lying. The quota to Golu, from Golu to San Diego, 20-minute draft. When I say all the road is where in Lofa County, the president has done well, all well. No, but there are some tangible the president has done. You don't expect the president to do everything he says yes, sir. Say 1847, one way someone sells the country, what else country like this?
Okay.
But our politicians who got the lie to the people. I want to tell people sorry, you shouldn't listen to the people then. The president has done nothing, the president has paid one fee. The president has paid people around the country. What do you want to tell all?
Thank you very much. We leave you right there, my brother Fofana. Let's take this other person. Where do you join us from? Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, okay, this is Mr. Conan calling from the States.
Ibrahim Conan.
Okay. Yeah, let me take this opportunity to commend you for flagging this issue. This is a very sensitive issue that is good that you are trying to magnify it, and I hope that the other media outlets will try to magnify as such, because it's better to address the uncommon situation way before time. Just to put things in context, I know it could be a long conversation, but for time constraint, you have had president. Take for instance a southeasterner, Samuel Doe. He erected a road in Grand Kidman County. Going to the water side.
Yeah, the Ibrahim Babangida Highway.
Yes.
Now, you have President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She constructed the road in Maryland coming toward River Virginia. She was part of it. She initiated that.
Oh, yeah?
She didn't build a road in Bowman County. So for people to go and politicize such a situation only because they want to bring a divisive sectional politics is very, very dangerous for a country that have experienced war all predicated on misinformations. So the president of the Republic of Liberia is not president for the Republic of Southeastern region. He is setting his priorities straight and legislator, okay? You cannot erect a road coming from Southeastern to come to Ganta, but rather from Ganta going toward the Southeastern region. That's the appropriate thing to do. And even if you go toward the River's end, there are road construction going on. Mind you, the two ministers of public works under this government, they are all literally Southeastern. Okay, Maputo Nyipa, he didn't go in the Southeastern region to start road construction there. He started it right in Montserrat County, and then onward, they kept moving on. And currently, you have Coker that is from Riverside. And yesterday, they are prioritizing Liberia, not a particular sector. So the people that is good that to flag this thing and educate the people in the Southeastern region that they should not buy into those kind of cheap shenanigans. It's very dangerous for our flagging democracy. So I appreciate you for flagging this situation and let it be magnified. It shouldn't be on this today's topic. Let it be magnified on all of the local radio stations and let people be educated about it. That indeed their road funding have been secure and it's just a matter of time, like you stated.
Thank you.
Great show, man. I appreciate it for the discussion, man.
Thank you very much, Abraham Conant from the United States. Let's leave you, Abraham Conant, and talk to this other person. Go ahead. Let's hear you 1 minute.
Hello, okay.
Hello, ma'am. Let's hear you.
This is Smile, they're calling from St. Paul's Bridge.
St. Paul's Bridge, go ahead.
Okay. Let me tell you, those people don't have anything to say. How you will jump over roads to go down there? How you will manage to face the place? We don't want our place. They make sense because you want to satisfy the other people before you go to your own town. Before somebody say, oh, if you have faced the place, face his place, before facing the place, you're going to say, oh, he get down for you, then time order. And the president, they say they just doing all kinds of things, but they will not carry it. We kill our president for the second time. I tell you, thank you.
Thank you very much. Elena Ula, we leave you right there. We take this other person. Go ahead, 1 minute.
Yeah, good afternoon, Oliver Khan. My name is Franklin in Kamara, very because in Principal Puja.
Go ahead, Frankie.
Let me say thank you for your talking point this afternoon. You know, sometimes we ask ourselves question, why are those politicians getting there in this country? Because if you look at it, setting right, somebody who is doing well, somebody who start project I was never done in the history of Liberia, somebody who is taking role in the rural part of Liberia. And then you come to the public or you come to the people trying to why can you bring your topic but you come in and lie, you say hi, the man is married for Southeastern, why you shouldn't do the work. And I can say about this past 2018 do the inauguration when the president said my people you are thank you. The president said my people from Gregory County thank you. The president never said my people from Nema County thank you. But the president said my people thank you, which means speaking to be the Liberians. So if the president doing why they can say the truth, but they be doing distinction. But we get support when it comes to the president will be really letter. Thank you.
We leave you right there. We take this other person. Go ahead, 1 minute.
Hello, okay.
Hello, ma'am. Let's hear you.
Okay, there is my original door, the president from Chicken Soup Factory.
Go ahead.
Okay, I want to tell you thank you for your talking point. You see, okay, that man, we don't know why he's really talking. Sometimes I just want to put my mom on Kumi to be fair. Because he's my brother. He's my son, easy brother. But when you did a call for all the put more on him, we put more in. Why you do? For us. Why you do down there? Oh, you see that? President, we are, that's our easy president. President, we are of the Republic of Liberia. You're not grateful president. You're not for easy president. You're not president for one group of people. You're president for everybody. That when that decision made a son. He said that somebody else, but I so even if come with that cheap, that politics to go
go to the side here and tell the people, say, you don't do that one yet. Also, the other people run a day. You are not there. I want time will come. I want people not stupid. I want people know. That President William will come to them. He will come and get the road. He already started on that side. He doesn't see you there. He does too. He does lot of things there. So what you want him to do now? Can't do that. Once you do that, we're going to keep on doing that. That may not say, you know what to do. I mean, you're coming to get it right. So you see,
thank you.
That's why all of the hospitals are being very talking. Then you are know what you're talking.
We'll leave you there.
You saw Coco for so many years. You even want to show up nothing. Then you come in with a child. Then you fuck man. Thank you.
We leave you right there. We take this other person. Make it snappy. 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Good evening, KOK.
Good evening, Chief.
I'm Robert Bakoya calling from 17th Street, Barclay Avenue.
Go ahead, Robert.
I just want to say to you, my brother, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity first. And I want to thank you for the Liberian people, for the direction that people are trying to lost the Liberian people. And you are always on national platform to tell Liberian people that this is the rule for all to go. And where this, our brother who are going to be somebody that from your country is misleading the people from the southeastern side to say that the president, we are not doing for you people and doing for the so and so group of people. This country is for every one of us, regardless of your status. And you coming, you were in missing sugar with water. You did not have any Liberian yesterday, and you coming back to the Liberian people where the president doing his time as footballer. He had the Liberian so lot. Now he did a work. He did a work, so Liberian people decided to pay him to make him president. So let me leave you by telling my people thank you in my vernacular. Liberian lying like a magibi. Cashier Padama. Capuno, I get President Car. I get Pacapona. Kalu, Witema, Kakaiba Poka, where this again, Eka, and knowing about getting the wing getting out to a place, Mamma. So Cashier Padama, all our car is Mama. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. I heard Ibama means thank you in Pele. We leave it right there. We take this other person. Hello, go ahead. Let's hear you. Good evening, Chief.
My name is Musa Brown.
Musa Brown from the US. Go ahead, Musa.
Yeah, very well. What that we are very concerning is of people now. The reason for that is that campaign message is not only to Arizona Commons. Even the youth chair of the Unity Party are willing a break from between the youth chair of the Unity Party and the youth chair of PDP. The only thing we had to say was because of the suffix. And see, that debate was taking place right in Nikutan. That the way did not do rule, the way did not open gates, the way did not do this in the suffix. So, their greatest politics and target is that they are telling the people of the suffix that the president has neglected them, even though to put him in power. For them to realize they are not the politics of people that they support to build the road from one side, the second the proper to data is the food. My people are getting there because of it. So President Weah was not elected as president for only the short.
Okay.
For only Maryland, for only Reward, for only England. No, but any selling between as a Bowman County. For 12 years, all Bowman County.
The road of Dominican car, they were looking at car, they built that road in 1979. Cost of using on the road, they push them. You didn't build road there, but you built the road to go Grand Bassa. You built the road to go reach Kogonta. What is this? She took her on bar. It's a fair election. Nobody wants to live in Bomi County. The Bomi people stuck by her. They voted for her. But I can tell you, beside any village, where she built graveyard, where she built her house, she don't have no business of Bomi, even for herself. What does she do for the people of Bomi? So the road that is for Ganta.
Thank you.
Not for Bomi run that road, going to Ganta.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The road the people are not allowed to go to Lupa. We should stop the kind of destructive and wicked politics that our people are developing in our country. And that's why I always say, okay, just 1 minute, 1 minute, okay. That's what I was saying. God forbid, if something ridiculous happens in Liberia, where a gun will fire, kill people, run people's houses, only because they're slowly developing a life. Where you got your money from, how do you get it? They will destroy you because they hate you. Nothing will take place. And the destruction that will take place in Liberia, we should pray that will take place in Liberia. All the destruction of the 15 years. Even if it just take a week, but God forbid that will not happen on the of
Thank you, Willie. Thank you very much, Willie Musa Brown. Your line was difficult. It was kind of coming in unclear, but we had to get the message. Let's take the last caller, then we call it a day. We are absolutely out of time right here on 87. Panine, this is the last caller. What is your name and where do you join us from? Okay, we missed out on that person. Let's take this last one. Hello, go ahead.
Mr. Khan, good evening.
Good evening, Chief. Let's hear you.
Not bad. One thing I want coming to know that we the Southeasterners will eat the dry rice, cassava with pepper. A strange man will come. Then our parents will take the bigger rooster for him to eat it. And we ask, but we hear why we can't eat the rooster here. They say that stranger can carry your name. It is from that perspective that Georgia is operating. Maybe he doesn't know. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dempster Johnson. Liberia is for all Liberians. When a Liberian is fortunate to become president of Liberia, whether he is from Grand Crew, or whether he is from Nimba, or whether he is from Lufa, wherever he is from across the country, in as much as he is the president of the country, he is the head of the entire country. So say, while we are not Bero, in Grand Crew and go Bero in Lufa is a bad thing, then it means you are un-Liberian. Oh yes, it is an irregular phrase. You are un-Liberian. That means you hate unity. That means you are very divisive. My name is Kine. I was here. On tomorrow's edition of the program, we play a host to District Number 7 Representative candidate, the Honorable Frank Atuz. Frank Atuz is wishing to have himself elected at the level of the Liberian House of Representatives to replace Representative Solomon Claudio George in West Point. Yes. We play host to Mr. Frank Atuz on tomorrow's edition of the show. Until then, my name is Kine. Bye-bye from our end.
Crown Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own self-omen, Omen Sam Sion.